What's up, gang? Welcome to Budget Jams. My name is James, and I want to invite you to come along with me on my financial journey. Now, I've started this channel for a bunch of reasons, but since it's a brand new channel, I just want to lay out a little bit about my background, what my goals are, and how I'm planning to get there. Sound cool? Now, like I said before, my name is James. I'm in my 30s. I work a full-time... Why is this part so hard? It feels like I'm like writing a dating profile. Can I just can I just be normal? Like I said before, my name is James. I'm in my 30s. I work a full-time day job in communications at a large corporation, and I'm also a part-time content creator. I have other channels where I make videos on YouTube, and I also stream on Twitch. Maybe some of you will recognize me from there. Now, making a channel like this is a big departure from the typical content that I'm used to making. Again, I do a lot of stuff with gaming and just like kind of general entertainment, but I've always felt a little niched into those other channels where I can't always talk about other things that are important to me. And something that has been very important to me for a long time is just my own financial goals, financial accountability, staying on top of my budgeting and finances, all those good things. So I guess that begs the question, why now? Why start a channel now and start talking about personal finance and whatever my financial journey is? To give some light context, I guess, about 7 months ago, I went through a pretty major life change and I saw basically all of my expenses double. This has kind of left me in a weird spot with my personal finances where I don't feel like I'm as on top of things as I had been leading up to this point. Again, I'm turning 31 in just a few days at the time of filming, and really I'm just trying to get myself back on track. This channel is going to exist for a few different reasons. One, it gives me an excuse to talk about things that I care about that I don't feel like I can share elsewhere. Two, I kind of want this just to be like almost a public accountability factor. I'm going to be sharing real updates with both my spending habits, good or bad, what I'm doing to save money, and how I'm kind of chasing these larger goals that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And I just think that having this like external pressure and accountability from all of you who are hopefully following along on this journey is going to help me a lot. You know, if I am sitting down every week and saying like, hey, we're going to do a budget update, and I've been kind of like not super on top of my stuff, I think that that can be motivating. I'll always have this in the back of my mind. It's like, well, the good people watching at home, they're going to want to see me succeed too, hopefully. That's a huge part. And then also, you know, I talk about the content that I make on my other channels. I've had a real issue, the probably last like year especially, of just being consistent making content and getting things out in a, like, I guess a timely manner. I kind of want these videos to feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more maybe rough and ready. I get in my own way a lot, and I spend a lot of time kind of getting stuck in the edit and getting stuck even starting filming. So I want to use this as an excuse. If I'm making a video at least weekly, even if it's just a little check-in, it's helping me kind of like hone that turnaround time and practice just letting myself allow something to be good enough as opposed to being perfect. I guess this is a vehicle for me to just practice making content, as well as hopefully sharing some interesting stories as I work on my financial journey. Now, again, this is a totally new type of content that I'm trying to make, and I'm trying to kind of strike this balance, right? Because I've always felt that financial transparency, income transparency, all of these things are important. And I also feel like it's hard for people who are also kind of around my age who are trying to navigate saving money, achieving financial goals. I think it can be hard when you're hopping on YouTube and you're looking for videos of people talking about this. You know, everyone has their like general savings tips that they do, but I think personally it'd be helpful to just be able to follow along with someone else who's kind of in the same mix of things. So to the best of my ability, I'm going to be sharing real numbers. Obviously, I need to keep myself safe. Being on the internet is a whole weird bag of worms. So there will be a lot of like personal information that I'm obviously not going to share. But every number that I provide in these videos, these are going to be real numbers, as like to the day of, you know, what real expenses and what real income looks like. Now, that being said, like I'm all about like financial transparency, but this is also coming from a point of I want to be recognizing my own privilege as well. I have the privilege that I have the capability to make videos. I have the privilege in the fact that I have time to make these videos. I have privilege in the fact that I have a decently paying, consistent, stable full-time job. I know that's not a situation that everyone is in. So I know that my personal financial journey is just that. It's personal. Everything that I do in these videos is going to be purely anecdotal and specific to my situation. And I just hope that there's tips and tricks and whatever, strategies, ways of thinking, ways of recontextualizing things that all of you following along can enjoy. So none of this is, the final word on what to do with your money. It's just me trying to share what's been working for me and also what's not been working for me. I want to keep this like very real and very raw. There's going to be, wins and losses, like triumphs and struggles. I'm just trying to keep it real is really what it comes down to. In between, some of the like core bread and butter of like me sharing my financial journey, I also plan to make videos about like how I save money or like things that I regret purchasing, things that I don't regret purchasing. All right, so enough with the yap session. You're probably wondering what is this guy's goals? What am I even trying to do? So again, I gave a little bit of context beforehand. A lot of my expenses more than doubled, and I'm just trying to kind of like get back on top of things. I was hemorrhaging money, to be completely honest. There was a lot of travel and a lot of just trying to like rebuild and a lot of new expenses that I didn't have a good handle on. And I'm just way out. I'm out. I'm out of the money that I had been saving. So much of my savings has been depleted, just trying to kind of like get back on my feet and get reestablished. And I'm honestly kind of just sick of seeing all this money leave my bank account. I need to truly just get a grip. Priority number one is just get those expenses reduced as much as possible, and just have a better handle on where my money's going. I'm not trying to deprive myself of anything. There are a lot of things that I do that are more out of laziness or apathy, that are truly costing me a lot of money, and they're going to get in the way of me doing the things that I actually want to do. Now, I'm, again, in a fortunate position. I don't actually have any debt right now. No student loans. I have a car payment, but it's a lease. I don't really know if we can consider that debt. But there's no continuous debt that is really dragging me down. Even though my spending has been kind of all over the place and much higher than I'd rather it be, I'm not running any credit card debt. I don't have any student loans. Unfortunately, I don't have a mortgage. That's something that I'm trying to change. We're in a good position there. I think there's no money that is leaving my account every month that I am not fully in control of. I'm not beholden to anything other than keeping myself alive and keeping a roof over my head. Now, before these life changes happened, I had been sitting at a pretty good chunk as far as liquid money goes. I'd like to get built back up to where things kind of had been. So again, speaking with real numbers, I had about $35,000 between my checking and savings accounts. I know that's probably more like liquid cash than like some people would recommend, but it was working for me. So I want to build back up to that point. I'm also planning a move very, very soon, probably within the next 9 to 10 months. I'm going to be packing up from where I am currently. I'm going to be moving back to my home state, and it's not an insignificant move. So I just need to make sure that I have the funds kind of set aside and prepared to be a little out of my norm for a while. I don't have a hard number on what that looks like, but I need to just make sure that I'm preparing for that inevitability. Next, one of my big goals too is once I make this move back to my home state, like many millennials, I would really like to buy a house. From everything I've been hearing, mortgage rates are going to be going back down probably within the next year. That gives me a little bit of hope that I might be able to get myself into a modest place. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Now I'm going to make a really strong push on that. There is a very small chance, unless I have an estranged rich aunt or uncle that passes away and leaves me a bunch of money, that I will be able to save up for a full 20% down payment on a house. But that doesn't mean that I can't set lofty goals for myself. I would like to save up for a 20% down payment as like a lofty goal for a home. So I assume I can probably get into a $300,000 house if any of those still exist. Which means that I need $60,000 in cash just for that down payment, not counting my emergency fund and all those other things that I need. So I'll tell you right now, my annual income would not make that possible in the next 12 months, but we're still going to shoot for reaching those marks. The other goals are a little less concrete. I'm just trying to grow my own financial knowledge. I want to learn better budgeting habits, better spending habits, better saving habits. And I'm hoping that as we continue to make these videos, I continue to check in with you all, that will just kind of happen over time. It's going to keep me more conscious about it, and we'll just kind of see where it takes us. And then the other kind of amorphous, ungraspable goal is that I want to share what I know with all of you. And I need to make it, very clear, nothing of what I say is going to be financial advice. But I still feel like there are things that work for me that maybe it can have you thinking differently about your money as well. So we have our goals. We know what we're doing. What's our plan? How are we going to accomplish this? And I keep saying we because you're along on this journey with me. There's going to be a few different styles of videos on this channel. For the last, I'd say 3 or 4 months, I've been doing weekly check-ins with myself, kind of making sure that I'm on top of my general budget marks. And so every weekend, I'm already checking in with myself. I figure I might as well check in with all of you as well. So as I'm going through, just kind of seeing where I'm at on my week by week, I'm going to make a video about it. Talk about where my money's gone. Have I been struggling with anything? Has anything been kind of like getting in my way of achieving these larger kind of like end of year goals? And I expect those videos to be pretty short, pretty quick, but they'll be consistent. And again, reaching back to some of my other goals, I want them to be pretty easy to put out there, easy information to share, and kind of go from there. Now, I'll also be doing a video every month, and that'll be probably the second video that you see on this channel, which is going to be more of like a reset or monthly check-in. This will be a better overview kind of like how my money is all shaking out. See what my total expenses for the month have been. Do we have anything left over? Did we fall short on our goals? What can we move to savings? And that'll be kind of the time where I'm pouring money into these different buckets of like, okay, we're rebuilding. Okay, this is the emergency fund. This is the down payment. This is for the move. And we'll kind of distribute that and we'll get to watch that grow together month by month. We'll be doing the weekly check-ins, the monthly resets. As I'm able or as I have ideas, I'll also be making videos about my own strategies for how I budget, how I'm saving money, how I'm trying to make it fun for myself. A piece of advice that I heard a long time ago is that personal finance should not be exciting. And while I generally agree with that, it should be something that you're keeping simple. I think you can still make it fun. I mean, at least like let me reward myself for being financially responsible. So I've got probably 10 video ideas or so right now that I'm excited to make, which will be more general like sharing of tips and tricks, how I built my budget. What are things that I'm doing in my life that have like, kept more money in my pocket, whether that's like where I'm choosing to shop, how I'm choosing to like find coupons or discounts, things like that. I just want there to be like kind of like concrete, like I'm a real guy. Here's some stuff that might work. I'm feeling like really inspired and really just excited to share things and like talk about something that I think is so important that a lot of us lack a lot of knowledge on. And while I am really jazzed up about making all of these other videos about savings tips and tricks, please let me just reiterate, this is not a financial advice channel. I do not know how to make you rich. I don't give a shit about cryptocurrency. I'm not an investment advisor. I just am a guy. I'm a guy who's trying to be more thoughtful and more, I guess, intentional about what I do with the money that I have, the money that I make, the money that I spend. And I want to share that all with you. This is not going to be one of those like finance bro, get rich quick schemes and like very strange, like passive income stuff. I don't know if it's real or not. Maybe I'm the idiot for not believing in it, but I think a lot of it, frankly, is bullshit. And I want to share something that's real. So as long as you take me at face value and understand that I'm not trying to tell you that what I'm doing is the smartest thing in the world, we're going to get along just great. I really hope that you can tag along with me and just share with me in the wins and the stumbles along the way. I know that money and personal finance can be really emotional, can be really overwhelming. And I know it's hard out there right now. So please, before you do anything else, just remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.